Hey, guys and girls. My name Riel.
I'm Renaya.
I'm rolling.
And I'm Jasmine.
And today we are talking about COVID and how it's affected us in school and just about everything around us.
So I'll go first. COVID. Okay, so COVID, we found out COVID I found out COVID affected my life when it messed up my life, my 11th grade year. Couldn't go to 11th grade prom, 12th grade prom. It wasn't a lot that we could do. It started getting better, but now we saying it's starting to get worse. So how do y'all guys feel about that?
Well, first, I feel like they sent us back to school in full capacity way too soon. Like, how did we go from having like 5 students in a class to a full class of 20 students, at least 20 students? I don't understand that.
Crazy.
COVID. I don't know. It was just really weird. My school, where I was at, my school closed around March 17th, 2020. I remember that day. They were already announcing that COVID was coming along, and for far as I know, people were like touching each other. We were maskless at the time, and they had where my school at. They had like TV. They were showing like, okay, school's closed, and I was like, okay. I called my parents, pick me up. I told them the school's closed permanently. So we were online for the rest of my 11th grade year. It was kind of adjustment. I didn't do so great in 11th grade with comes to grades, all that stuff. COVID really affected me like that. But one thing I found about COVID after 11th grade, that I found peace. It kind of affected me bad, but at the same time, it was for a good cause for myself. I probably need like a break for myself. So I think COVID was great. And that was a great cause for me. But yeah, so what I was saying is that COVID really affected just me and my family in a lot of ways. It was a big adjustment. We were at home all day. My mom ended up had to work at home, and it was hardship. I remember like my mom told me she went to the store to get some things, and a lot of stuff were out of stock and all that. It was just a crazy moment, especially during those hard months, especially like during the summer. And that was one of the worst days, especially when it comes to COVID. So, but like I said, COVID, I think, really affected me. I found peace, and I found like what I want to do in life then in the day. So but then I just kind of like realized that people matter. So that was a big adjustment for me.
COVID messed me up because it was my sophomore year, so I was expecting to have a graduation, and I didn't have it, so I had to graduate virtually. And I feel like it messed up my year going into college also, because I felt like I'm supposed to be on campus, but it's like virtually it messed me up because it's like it was just the learning all your schoolwork over a camera instead of not learning it in person. So it was hard for me to kind of like focus, and it's hard, but it's like it's getting better now because I guess I'm in like a college environment. But when I was back at home, it was more harder for me because I couldn't really focus. So I feel like COVID really ruined it.
Yeah, so I agree with you, Jasmine. When COVID first started and they was like, oh, we're going virtual, I was like, oh, okay. So honestly, when we first went virtual, I didn't even join class. I just did the work when I got home, and that was it. I slept as long as I wanted, and honestly, at first, I really didn't care. But that next school year, I was like, okay, I got to get this together. And actually started joining and paying attention and trying to be as productive as I could be while virtual.
Yeah, so yeah, I agree. I have a good question. I want to start with Riel, if she was still there. But how did COVID affect your family and especially in your household and your family and friends in general?
Well, with my friends, it was kind of hard because we really couldn't go outside. You know, it was a curfew at that too. And with family, I can say it really did change our family. You could see like how sad they was because we couldn't do our family activities we used to do. Um, when COVID actually hit, that was when Ryan turned 7, and Ryan is now 8. So that was one of the big last activities we did as a family when COVID actually hit, was take Ryan the skies on and take him out. After that, we found out COVID was happening, and it just affected us. And you know, I'm always a big outside person, and I was very sad. But then that's when I started getting into TikToks more, staying in the house more, realizing it's nothing outside for you to do for real. And don't get me wrong, this school stuff, by the grace of God, that's how I got out of high school. From grace of God. Grace of God. But yeah, it just affected us. We were so sad.
Yeah, and to Riel's point, I don't know if this is talking about family, but to Riel's point about like social media and stuff like that, I started my YouTube channel before COVID and stuff, but during COVID, I really didn't have nothing to do, so I really started taking that more seriously and started getting serious with my content and stuff like that. And man, it grew a lot. It grew from, I think I was at 100 followers. It grew over 700. So that was a good impact of COVID.
Okay, spirit fingers.
So COVID affected my family because it was like a lot of people who wasn't working, couldn't work no more because of COVID. So the income of money, it was like kind of hard. So we was all just stuck in our zone, nothing. We didn't really know what to do. So we all started to like decided to find things to do as a family. So we had started like playing like little family games. And that's how we started. But it affected us back because a lot of people who had a job around that time was bringing in the money and they couldn't really work no more. Like my brother was working at Morgan at a college, and then my other brother was for like a furniture company. So around that time they couldn't work because of COVID. So it was like us back. But it was like we found things to do. Like we found how to play games. We did like we watched movies as a family. We did a lot of stuff together. So that's what happened.
Yeah, that's a very good conversations. How they affected everyone's household and family, the friends, especially when you can't really get out and have good times to probably see your friends, probably affected with income and everything. So there's a chat that posted by our good friend Miss Ramona. And it's a question, very good question. What spiritual reason do you think COVID served? And I'll start with Renaya.
So for me, spiritually, I think that COVID really showed us that we really do not have to be physically in a church to not just have a relationship with God, but to connect with your church family, I guess. Because at Concord, we do everything in person. Like before COVID, nothing was really virtual except we had church services on Facebook and in person, but pretty much everything we did was in person. But because of COVID, we had to kind of adapt to really use technology to our advantage and doing stuff on Zoom and Google Meets and stuff like that. And it really showed us that we did not have to be in person to do a lot of stuff. We could literally do it from our house.
Yeah,
because now my
I feel the same way. Like me spiritually, I feel like me more being like with me just going to church. I feel like it's like different because like I was so used to being in church, actually like in a congregation, participate in all that junk. And it's like now that it's virtual, it's like I feel like it's more. It's like virtual. Like now that when COVID hit, it was like okay. At first, we was like, so how we gonna do the church stuff? And then we realized we can do it on like Facebook and stuff. We was like, that's a good thing, but it's like, is it really gonna be something that everybody's going to be able to attend to? So once we started, like now I'm thinking in my head, like that's something good because like instead of just always being in person, you have a social media, use it as your advantage. But I also thought like even like with the stuff we're doing now, I feel like it's more better because it's like even if you can't be in person, at all times you can always use your social media or you can use just like Zoom or anything just to stay in contact. It was even hard with like the dance stuff because we barely could meet in person anyways, and if you did, we always had to meet in small groups and we always had to wear like masks and stuff. And it was kind of hard because it was like we're so used to coming in, hugging everybody, we couldn't even do that. But it's like it's better now. It's like I can feel like it's better for being on camera than it is just being in person because you don't want nothing to happen to nobody. You rather just stay safe.
And even when we first started in person, we were on the parking lot, 6 feet apart, using tape on the ground. So yeah, it was very different. And even being on Zoom and trying to sing on and all of the legs and stuff like that. So yeah, it was very different.
yes, because my mother thinks she don't gotta go nowhere. She's like, Mom, you still have to get out the house. Girl, we got Zoom right here. Everything don't cost for a Zoom link. And like we be really having arguments about that.
Yeah. COVID really affected the church I play at. At first, we were at Zoom. Me and my mom are the musicians, so we pretty much. My uncle got me and my mom. He ordered me and my mom a microphone, like a USB microphone for our laptop, so we can use it for Zoom. And pretty much, everyone, the congregation was in Zoom. My mom had to play the keyboard at the basement, and I had a drum set at the basement at my house as well. So we had to play there for a while, especially during 2020. Now we're at church every Sunday, but we have our mask on. Mostly the people are vaccinated, which is good. But we're kind of like going back in church, but it's a shorter time. Like we instead of like lasting nearly about 2 hours, we last about literally an hour. So that's really a very good, very, very, very interesting to see how it affected me spiritually. But I have another follow-up question with comes on spiritually. Did COVID made you think, or did COVID made you connect for you to God for more? For more, did it connect? Did God connect to you more during this time during the pandemic?
Yeah, it did. I was looking up scriptures every time I was sad, or listening to gospel music and stuff. It just would be times where I would get up and just cry because it wasn't much that we could do. And then getting up, it feel good getting up and seeing the same people every day. But you get to also leave the same people. You get what I'm saying? Then come back to the same people. And it just felt like I was in prison. But I had to think, you're not the only one in prison, girl. You get what I'm saying? So, like recently, before I came back to church, I thought I had COVID. Like, it was bad. I went to the hospital and everything, and I thought I had COVID, but I didn't. I just got sick real bad. I actually want to get rebaptized, if that's... Like, I actually do want to get rebaptized. Anybody else got something to say?
Yeah.
I do.
So yeah, I think it kind of strengthened my relationship with God too, because one of the things I started doing during COVID was taking walks around the block, and that really helped to kind of clear my mind, because being stuck in the house and my thoughts just all being there, scattered and everything, just taking a walk and enjoying the nature, that really helped. And I feel like it helped me to hear his voice more and kind of understand what I needed to do.
I feel like I connected with God more spiritually because it was like I was in a house, so I really didn't have nothing like else to distract me. So I felt like with me, like I was listening to more like gospel music, and then I was like more reading the Bible and actually thinking about stuff. And I was like connecting more, so it was like it brought me more better with him because it's like me being stuck in the house and not having nothing to do. It's like it brought me more better. So it's like me now, I am more like better. So better stuff like that. And I feel like I've grown more. But I have been like sometimes I would have like times where I would just like if I just sit and think of something, I would just like cry a little bit. But it only be stuff like if I lost somebody or something. So it was like bring me back. So, but I have more now. I feel better with God because it's like now that I know more. But especially with like doing like the singing and stuff, it brought me more closer because it's like now I know more about it. Because at first I knew stuff about it, but I didn't think it was like that serious. But now that I do all this like dancing and singing stuff, it's like I'm more like better now because I understand. And so that's why I feel like so I connect with God more spiritually now.
Yeah. During COVID, yeah, it made me think a lot, especially during COVID, especially during this time, because just a lot of people just gone, just literally gone. It was just kind of shocking. It was like, it said on the news, it was like, it wasn't this bad, like the amount of people that passed on since like the Great Depression, which is nearly almost 100 years ago, which is kind of like almost funny to think about because we never really thought you can be in this position. But, you know, when I start seeing that, I was praying to God, like all the lost souls go to heaven, literally, because a lot of people died. Also, it also affected us all physically, mentally, and spiritually for everyone. So yeah, it really connected me. I can connect to God more because now I'm able to like reading the Bible more, praying every morning, every night, and just random times before, like especially even before eating lunch or dinner, like stuff like that. You know, just ask for blessings every day. Just thank God you still breathe. You know, thank God you can have oxygen. You can wake up every morning and sleep at every night. So there's another chat that says, do you think everyone should get a vaccine? So what are start with Riel. What are your thoughts about the vaccine? Do you think everyone should get the vaccine? Yes.
Yes.
What?
Yes, because number one, yes, it is cause it's an effect to everything. You get what I'm saying? It's an effect to everything. Will the effect get better? Yes, but you have to think the effect to this vaccine that we getting is going to help you get better. I'm not going to say you can't catch it with the vaccination. You probably can. Because we heard like it haven't been tested yet to see if it was 100%. So I feel as though everybody should get vaccinated. I feel as though the kids, because the babies like 7, 8, yeah, should get tested should get vaccinated soon because now it's more of the kids getting sick than older people. Now that I'm seeing. That's how I feel.
So I think everybody should make their own personal decision because just because everybody's getting it does not mean that you can get it. I think you need to do your research and figure out what's best for you. Don't just do it because it's on the news and because everybody's saying get it. Yeah.
I know I got it because I'm type 2 diabetic and I'm easy to get sick. And I'm always around my grandmas, my mother, my father. I'm around everybody in my life, and I don't want them to get sick. So that's what I got.
Jasmine, how do you think everyone should get the vaccine?
I think everybody should, or I think everybody should think about it at least, because at the end of the day, like you know, like you can still get like the COVID, but with the vaccine, at least if you get COVID, you're not going to get it as bad as everybody else that don't got the shot. So I feel like if you get the shot, at least if you do get COVID, you're not going to be as bad as certain people. So I feel like some people should think about it.
Yeah, I agree. I think everyone should at least try get a vaccine, but also like make a conscious decision. Also, I agree with Rihanna.
Yeah, I like it.
Also do research. Make sure that these
Okay.
vaccines are safe for you for everything. I got vaccinated because I needed like a surgery. And the doctor said, and the hospital said you need to be vaccinated and stuff at that time. So I ended up getting the vaccine. So that's good. I'm still still living, pretty healthy. I'm doing great. I had a right femur surgery. I had to get the rod out because I had that rod out in 2019. Rod in my right femur in 2019. And not too long ago, like just right after I graduated from high school this year, literally. I had to get the rod out. And how did it affect everyone mentally? Personally,
Mentally. So again, before COVID hit, I was seeing a pediatrics therapist, and I was getting so much better. My mindset was changing. I turned 19. They stopped my pediatric therapy. I haven't had therapy ever since. Like I said, I was sad all the time. Mood swings. I wasn't myself. I had to take a break from a lot of things like dancing. I'm recently coming back to dancing. I cut all the negativity people out my life just because they was bringing me stress too. And like I started doing a lot of things that I wasn't doing when COVID hit because I was sad. And I thought, oh, I see other people coping with it because that's how they cope with it. They use drugs and alcohol to cope with it. So I started doing the same thing. I still drink, but not all the time. Only like if I'm at an event. I don't smoke weed like that no more because only if I'm at an event, but I don't use it hard no more to cope with my pain. And this is what I'm trying to teach all these young adults and the next generations after us, because every time you turn around, you see somebody 15 or 11 or 12 with a joint or a bottle in their hand. I'll be like, back in my day, if my mother saw this in my hand, I wouldn't have a hand.
Or like back in my day, girl.
Y'all know I'm 90 years old. Don't do that. So, yeah. I'm just trying to sit here and teach all these young kids. Alcohol and drugs is not the way to cope. You have generations before you that can talk to you and call on Jesus. Jesus will hear you. Jesus probably won't answer your call at the time because he handling other calls, but he'll get to you. Leave a voicemail. Okay. Renai.
Renai.
Mentally, I feel like it just gave me time to focus on me and really think about what I really wanted to do. But during COVID, nothing really stopped for me. I kept going. But it just really gave me time to, since we weren't in school, I had time to do other stuff. During COVID, I started working in the salon every Saturday, like 8 hours a day. Still was working, so never really stopped. But it just gave me time to really kind of refocus and focus on
What
what I
salon
want to do.
is it?
Oh, I'm not there anymore. I'm in another salon there, but it's on
Okay, I
Lakeside.
might come get a quick weed.
Okay, real.
Yeah, COVID affected me mentally at first. After I think it affected me in a very good way. It made me think about self-care, which we talked about in that one of the themes. I was taking care of myself, literally. I was trying to figure out what are my goals in life? I was like, okay, now I know what my goals are. It made me really think about myself and family. That family does matter at the end of the day. And that, it just taught me about self-care, and I could focus on my goals and need and whatever I want to do in life.
Yes, and even having that Wednesday off of school, like a lot of times I would just go to Panera, and that was really good for me because the food is good, but it's also, I don't know, it kind of gave me like a change of scenery and to, again, clear my mind too. So that was also a plus mentally.
So with COVID, it's a good thing. It's not like a good thing, but it's like at least it made me like realize stuff. But also it was like kind of sad because it's like the way I was like, it's kind of made me feel like if I would have just spent more time with like the people that I know, like with my father and stuff, like it would have maybe like I feel like if I would have spent more time with him, I would have been fine. But it's like once like COVID, I couldn't really spend time as much because like you have to stay away and stuff like that. But I felt like with that, it made me realize that I have to spend more time. And it's like once I lost him, I was like it was the other time. But for me, with COVID and the vaccine and stuff, I had to take it because on college you have to take a vaccination. When you at a college, you have to take a vaccination to be able to stay on campus. And they make us get COVID tests every time to stay out, and if you don't do it, then you're gonna get kicked off the campus. But if somebody did have it, they have to wait for the students to stay until they actually are out of to get rid of the COVID. So like they have somebody for them to stay, for them to they still be like here, but they got somebody for them to stay at. So I feel like with that, I had to take it because it's mandatory that you have to have the vaccine on college campus. But I just feel like it messed me up mentally, but it messed me up kind of physically too, because a lot of stuff that I was doing, like with dancing, it was like messed me up physically. It's like once all I did was just sit in the house, it didn't make me like feel nothing. So I was like, I had to start thinking of things to do. So me and my sister, we started just saying we just want to start working out by like playing this game and house stuff, and that's all we did was just dance. So by us dancing and playing dance things, it got us more like back to our physical body, and like help us more physically instead of just sitting around and not doing nothing.
Yes, and I got something to say there. I also think COVID was a little bit good to me because I started losing a lot of weight with doing all these TikToks and stuff and just working out in the house. I wouldn't eat as much. People usually, every time I ask somebody about what they did in COVID, oh girl, I ate and watched TV. I didn't do that. I didn't. And
You talking about eating? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
yeah, that's what people said. Oh girl, I just sat there, ate and watched TV my whole COVID. I was like, I didn't do that. That's not healthy. So yeah.
So since we're talking about eating, I started cooking. Not anymore. That lasted a good few months, but yeah, that was a good plus. And I started eating ice cream too. Salenti ice cream. It hits. Yeah.
I think I was cooking more. I was also trying to I was working on like physical. I was starting to like exercise more in a lot of ways. So I think that's a good thing. And I like everyone's responses saying that really how it affected you many ways. But most of the things, what you guys said is pretty much positive, that you focus on self-care, on your goals, life goals, physically, spiritually, mentally, which is a very good thing. So I just have a question, but for right now, for this time of need, for anyone who still thinks that they can't do anything because during this pandemic, what is like some of the solutions that you guys can think of that'll make other people have some hope or make people happy about that, or the positive things that they could think about during COVID?
Pray.
Yep.
Try to keep your head up, because like everybody say, you have to have a downfall so you can have a major get back up. And I recently found that out when I was in the hospital. I had a major comeback up. I started doing dancing again. My diabetes are getting better. I might be on different medicine next year. Come next year. I have a lot of colleges calling me, wanting me for nursing. I just got promoted to a job of being a hall monitor at Gwinsboro Elementary. So yes, you are going to have downs, but something will turn out good. Just pray. Keep praying. Keep holding your head up. I'm not saying it's wrong to cry, because I cried every night in that hospital bed. But you're going to cry. You're going to wipe away them tears, because you are strong. We are strong. Physically, you might not be strong, but mentally, you are strong. That's all I have to say. And just Holy Spirit activate. Holy Spirit activate.
Cut it out. Okay, well, the advice that I have for people is like, I know a lot of people around, like COVID happened, a lot of people started doing like their own business. So I feel like if you have like an aspiring business, set it out. Even if you just don't know what to do, like this is just something that you thought of when you was little, at least just try to play it out to see how it works. Or, like focus on something that you always had a passion of doing. Even if it was writing music, writing a play, something like that, like just at least put your mind into it. Always have God in your head, like, pray, stuff like that. But I feel like with like this, I feel like it's like just spend more time with family if you need to, if it's necessary, because at the time you don't know what family members can get lost or go be lost from just like COVID and stuff. You don't know what can happen. I feel like with people, I feel like they should just start spending time with their family and do stuff that they are like, that they decide to do with their life, or like just make up a business or something, like make a business and you just start it, because that's how you can get money too from just doing that. So I feel like if they just got something that they can do, then they should just start doing it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Jasmine. Take your passion and do something with it. Like, I've always wanted to do hair, and during COVID, that really kind of helped me to take some time and actually do something with it. So yeah, whatever you want to do, whatever you love, whatever you're passionate about, start something. Like, social media is so big nowadays, you can literally do anything on there. So yeah, figure out how you can take that, make some money, or not make money. Start without making money, and then eventually you can start gaining an income from it.
Yeah, I agree. I think that everyone should take some time. Number one, always pray to God, love God, believe in God is real. He pretty much save a lot of people from this time of need, and you still kept you living at that time. Find a skill set. I realized that my passion is always music production. So now I'm in this school where I can pretty much learn about music production, and I can use DistroKid to pretty much sell out beats. So finding like a new trade skill set. Also take like meditation. It's pretty much do like self-care. Also read the Bible, read some scriptures. And just find some other ways that'll make you happy. Do what makes you happy. My parents always say, find a job that makes you you and what makes you happy. So that's really probably the best advice that my parents gave me. And as long as it hurt others, as long as it hurt you, or anyone, pretty much find some other good ways that cope that you can find happiness and some very good solutions for COVID. This is the end. Pretty much we're reaching the end of Teen Talk. Thank you everyone who's listening, and you listening again to Teen Talk. This is Roland.
This is Renaya. I don't know where y'all is.
I'm Jazz.
And make sure you tune in on every first and third Saturday on Facebook.com/EP
I'm sorry.
and share with all your friends and like and comment. Talk to us in the comments.